Hey guys, it has been quite a while since I have done a video. However, um, last year I decided to step in the ring of gardening, and so this I had this covering because it's kind of chilly still out here. I'm in Ohio, and we're still having some cold days. So anyway, I stepped my foot into the ring of gardening. I did really well for my first year. I just did some tomatoes, I did bell peppers, hot peppers, green beans, and cucumbers. So this year, because I did so well, started for my first year, I'm like, I feel comfortable enough to kind of venture out and do more things. This year, I'm doing more things. So I am going to share my along the way. Now, mind you, I just told you I just stepped into the ring of it last year, so I am no pro at gardening, but I am definitely willing to share what I'm doing. One thing I found is there's so much content on YouTube for gardening, but there is not a lot of content on YouTube for gardening in Ohio, especially in the zone that I'm in. I'm in zone 6A. So, our last frost date is after Mother's Day. So most places are already starting to sow seeds, put out starts, different things like that because they have climates where they already have either just reached their last frost date or it's fairly close enough to where they're comfortable and they can look out and see that they're pretty much in the safe to start doing some things. Now I have done some things that are um, some planted some things that are okay to grow when it's a little colder. They do okay with the cold weather. Um, I actually have some collards that I have had out here since last year in August, and they are still growing. So collards can take the winter, and we had some winter, and they can also take heat. So that's a great thing. So that's I'm like, wow. When I came out and the plant was still alive, and I'm like, it's still growing new leaves and everything. I was completely shocked. However, this year I'm going to do some raised beds. Last year I did a lot of pots, I bought pots. I also had 5 gallon buckets and things like that, which I'm going to probably still do some of those if I don't have room in the beds to do everything that I want to do this year. So, as I said, I'm going to share my journey of that as I go. So far, I'll just show you what I did so far because I just got done putting together my raised bed. See if I can turn this around. No, it's not. Why is it not turning around? Um, well, let me turn my camera around. I don't know why. Anyway, I will show you this way. So I put together these raised beds. These are each square is 4 by 4. So the two together is 4 by 8, and I have three of them. So I did them along my fence line. I put down landscape covering, and I put them down over that. And what I'm going to do, because you'll see I have where, I don't know if that's showing or not, where the landscape covering ends and my grass starts. I'm going to put some bricks along that all the way around to hold it down on the edges. And then I think I'm going to, no, I don't think I am. I know I'm going to mulch all the area that the landscape covering is. So these are some of the buckets that I used last year. Currently, I have these are blueberry plants in there that I'm going to try to grow. Never did blueberries before, but we're going to see how they do. But I just put those together. It's still pretty early for me, so I'm just taking baby steps to get prepared. I still have at least probably 4 weeks before I can actually feel comfortable enough to put my plants in the beds, like my tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers and um, squash and stuff like that. So as I go though, when I start bringing those things out, I'll show you as I'm planting them and how I'm going to plant them in the boxes, how I'm going to space them and all those kind of things to kind of help people, anyone, who might be want to get into gardening. And you don't have to do raised beds. This is just what I decided to do this year. Last year I did all buckets and planters. So, and everything did fine. So in those buckets you can get like at, I got these at Lowe's, but you can get them at Home Depot and probably most places. A 5-gallon bucket, fill it with some dirt. You don't even have to do seeds if you don't want to, which I didn't know that my first year going in. I started seeds and found out that I didn't have to go through that because I was afraid that my seeds weren't growing like they needed to because I didn't have grow lights or anything. I was putting them in front of a windowsill, and I was talking to someone and they were like, oh, I just go to the nursery and buy starts. I was like, whoa, 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 what is that? So basically you can go to like Lowe's or actual nursery that just does flowers and vegetables and stuff. And because they have, most of them have greenhouses, they will already have the plant started. And when you buy it, it's almost buying like a baby plant that all you have to do is take it from that pot that it comes in and plant it into something else bigger so that when it grows, it's, able to sustain the size of the plant, whatever you're putting it in. So this year I'm probably going to do a little of both. I have already started some seeds, but this year I have grow lights. I bought some last year. So I've started like cucumbers, watermelon, corn, peppers, tomatoes, and I think that's it that I've done starts for. And then if I want to add more after I put my starts out, I'll buy some starts from the nursery, and we'll see how that goes. And if my starts don't do well, because I'm doing it from seeds, I'll go and buy starts that I can get at a nursery. So yeah, I don't want to make this too long. I just wanted to share that. I will be doing videos coming forward that's just sharing my process in that. So maybe that's something you want to get into, maybe doing just a small garden. You don't have to have this much space. I did not do my garden over here last year. I did it in my little patio space. And let me show you my my collards that have survived the winter. Ignore all the stuff going on around it. But those are the collards that have gone through the winter. And I put those out in August of last year. And last year, this is where I had my garden. I had it just in my patio space with different pots stacked around. I didn't want that this year because I didn't get to really utilize my patio space because of that. I kind of cluttered it with gardening stuff, so it wasn't usable for us just hanging out or having people over or anything like that. So I told my husband last year I didn't want to go into the yard until I knew I could actually make something grow. I didn't want to mess up the yard if I couldn't do that. So this year I'm taking up a section of the yard, and that's going to be my gardening section, and I will be able to plant whatever I want to. So, all right, guys, I will take you along for the ride. So stay tuned. Bye.